We're here with Katy Perry of Tildio. Is it Tildio or Tildio?
Tildio.
Tildio. How did you come up with the name for that?
Well, it's the Spanish name for the killdeer bird. And while my husband and I were planting our vineyard, these birds were flying overhead and dive bombing to the ground and flopping around and making a lot of noise, and it ends up they were killdeer birds, and killdeer didn't sound right on a label, so we then found out that in Spanish it's Tildio, and thought it had a nice sound to it.
Okay.
It was better than my maiden name, which was kind of the Acme name of last names, which is Smith. So
okay.
It wasn't going to be Smith.
Now, what grapes do we have here behind you?
This is our Tempranillo, and I just have always been in love with the Rioja wines. And doing some investigating and into seeing if they would do well in this area. I just thought it was a really good bet that it would do well in Chelan. So we went ahead and planted a few acres of it, and we love it. I love it. So
tell us a little bit about the elevation here and when you started the winery.
Well, the elevation right here is at about 1,200 feet, 1,150. Lake level, Lake Chelan is at 1,100, and that's pretty important to stay lower in elevation here, just because of the winter cold snaps. It's not so much that we don't get enough heat in the higher elevations in the summer. We do. There's enough heat. It's just that in the winter, in the coldest part, the coldest days of the winter, up in the higher elevations, it can get below -10, and then there's some problems, -5. We rarely get below 0 here. We rarely get below, and that's Fahrenheit, not Celsius. So,
right.
Yeah, so they're pretty safe. We actually haven't had any cold damage here at all.
And when did you start the winery?
Well, we started planting the vines in 2001, and we opened our tasting room in 2005. And my husband and 2 other guys built the building. We broke ground in late '04 in the fall, and by spring we had the front door open to the tasting room.
And you've worked at a few different wineries in your career. Tell us a little bit what the path that you took to get here.
Well, I really wanted to start making wine, and back in the mid '80s, late '80s, in California, I was told, I really needed to go to school for it and study enology and viticulture, and I loved school, so applied to Davis and got in and studied enology and viticulture. And my professor at UC Davis was doing a joint project with Robert Mondavi. And so we were out in the Mondavi vineyards once a week collecting data, taking it back to the lab at Davis, and so my first internship, of course, I went straight to Robert Mondavi Winery and applied for the internship there and got it, and absolutely loved working for Robert Mondavi. He is a fabulous man and mentor. And from there I worked in Napa and Sonoma. I was there for 2 seasons, and then I went off to work in after graduating, worked with the Benzigers in Sonoma and kind of set up a research department for them. They wanted to start doing research enology and viticulture, so I set that up with them and did that for several years, and stayed in Napa and Sonoma for a total of 13 years, and worked also at Stag's Leap Wine Cellars and McRosty. And I'm originally from Seattle, and all of my family is in the Northwest, and when Chateau Saint Michel kind of made a call through an executive recruiter, I took that jump with almost no hesitation, and came out here and found this piece of property and worked on it on weekends while working at Chateau Saint Michel. And in 2005, it's my husband and I saw our dream come to life.
How many cases do you produce?
We're producing 2,000 cases a year now, and that's where we want to be.
Okay.
We can do it all ourselves, and which is a blessing and a curse, but it's the way we really like it. And that way we're hands-on in our own vineyard, and we're hands-on in our own winemaking. And it also forces us to be the head janitor and the head of everything else.
Right. Dishwasher.
Yeah. That's why I meant the curse and the blessing.
Yeah.
The blessing is I get to be hands-on in my own vineyard every day or day to day, and if not every day. and hands-on in the winemaking every day. But yeah.
Yeah, what percentage of your wine comes from Chelan fruit then?
Oh, I think, because we don't grow any Bordeaux varieties here other than a little bit of Cabernet Franc. And I love the Washington Merlot. I love Washington Cabernet, and our Malbec from Stillwater Creek is fabulous. So, and I love the Walluk Slope. So I'll always buy those, but that is about maybe 30% of our production.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Great. Well, thank you very much.
You're welcome.